happened last time. At last, the party was able to put down one of the greatest monsters that ever stepped on the surface of this earth, Agrippa, a demigod from ancient times that has spent countless centuries or maybe thousands of years feasting on the souls of those he deemed worthy, has been defeated, both from outside and inside, which was the only way of putting an end to its existence. Now, the enemy is devoid of its main attack force. The demigod will no longer be able to stop any advancement from your side, but there appeared a significant problem. You were warned numerous times that nightmares have a strange ability. They absorb life force itself, and the more powerful the nightmare, the more it can absorb to the point where it will swallow up time itself. And as it comes for the king of the nightmares, Agrippa has stolen 3 months of your lifetimes before being finally put down. As you have emerged on the outside and noticed the havoc and all the destruction that was laid in his wake, you are surrounded by your friends, by your allies, but already 3 months into the first conflict against the Hellions on the Black Waste. You don't know what happened during this time, but fortunately, all may yet be revealed quite soon, as it so happens that the King Ulra XVI is currently residing on the coast of the Black Waste, leading his army. That is where you were told to go by Clayton, who was tasked with disposing of Agrippa, together with numerous allies you have made along the way. This is when you return to the adventure.
I have a question from last week, Ellen. Because Jeremiah and I remembered things differently. Did Neo say he was the one that had murdered the other pillars?
No.
No, he did not tell us that. Okay, I guess I made.
He said that the person who murdered the previous pillars was the dragon tyrant, but his
Oh, got it.
identity has been hidden from the world. And you have seen numerous cases where the information that you find vastly differs from how it was described in the history. So there is someone trying to rewrite the history books.
Okay. Thank you.
As to how the Black Ways itself look like, think Mordor. It doesn't really take any, let's put it, creative thinking. Imagine vast spans of land covered by ash and rivers of lava. Anywhere is basically uninhabitable for creatures that are not Hellions. Does the party wish to go in the direction of the camp, or is there something else you'd like to do before that happens?
I think I'm pretty sure we would like to go directly to Justicar to find out what we missed and tell him that things happen. Francis hadn't said anything in a while. Are you here, Francis?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, we can go meet Jethakar.
Alright. Then as you climb up over the first hill, where the combat against Agrippa has concluded, you spot the shore of the Black Waste. The water, although still blue, or the color of the light blue, seems to be bubbling closer to the shore itself, which signifies that it must be extremely close, right where the reef begins. You spot a field of tents spanning for across half a mile on the coast itself, with several ships, including battleships, armed fully, with both cargo and weapons. It seems that your allies are prepared for anything. While still standing on the hill, you look around but notice no sign of enemy forces. No soldiers, no dark columns moving across the horizons. It seems that you truly are alone here. The only enemy that your group and your allies have encountered so far turned out to be Agrippa himself. Unless there's something you don't know. As you rush downhill, you spot a ready regiment of several thousand humanoids clad in armor. Most of them still seem to be preparing, but you don't notice them to be, let's put it, too alerted to your presence, almost like they were expecting you. They don't seem to pay you much mind, but as you come through the tent fields, you immediately spot something unusual. You can hear screams, shouting, banging against metal bars as you see giant metal cages with humanoids imprisoned inside, some of them still wearing armor, meaning they are no enemies. Those are the soldiers of King Ulra.
What's going on here?
Continuing across the field of tents, you spot the biggest one, with a royal symbol woven into it. It seems that the king resides within, and no one tries to stop you. Like I said, almost like you were expected here.
Word must travel fast.
Are they looking at us differently, or are they expecting something from us, or are they just observing us?
They are observing you. Aside from the ones put into cages, they seem to behave almost like animals, with the speech being incoherent, tossing apart the chunks of the armor that they were able to get off.
It's like Agrippa drove him insane, maybe.
With its high passive perception, Caden would notice that the knights and the warriors do not seem to have signs of any fight. The armors are in pristine condition. They, as it seems, have not indulged in any combat since coming here in the past 3 months.
Well, then, is something wrong with them?
I walk up to one of the warlords and say,
Why are they caged? What happened to their mind? Why they acting like animals and savages?
You must be Mulvan. I was told that you might come here, and you matched the description quite closely. I guess you weren't here. I don't know how to explain this, but once a day, ever since we arrived, we can hear a loud chiming sound coming from behind those hills to the east. To the west. And then we can hear screams and shouts, and some of our men desperately try to run in that direction, Initially, a squadron was sent to find out what's happening and to stop them if possible. But after a week, when only few of their soldiers returned, we were given a ban on trying to find that out, and we are not allowed to leave until the situation changes. I have no idea what causes them to lose their senses in this way. But instead of trying to fight whatever is causing it, we were told to imprison them and wait for effects. Truth to be told, I don't know much more than that. And for the past 3 months, about 1,000 soldiers have fallen victim to this occurrence, which we call the Plague of Greed. Do you want to know why? Look, he says as he takes a rock and tosses it against one of the cages. Immediately, the man sitting inside jumps towards the rock, grabs it, bites it, and at the moment he realizes it's only rock, he tosses it aside and shouts out, "I can't buy anything with this! Let me out! I need to go! I need to score big right now!"
Why?
The soldier standing next to Mulvan looks at you, Kerry. That's it. We don't know. They never tell us. They just continue this rambling. We tried to have the priests examine them, but they say that whatever is causing this is not of magical nature. There's nothing they can do.
And you associated this madness with this music that you hear.
Yes, it's once a day. We have learned to plug our ears as soon as we hear this strange tune. So far it's been working, but we cannot operate while deaf.
What about
Uh,
sign language?
Oh, we tried that too, but there's only a limited number of people that can successfully follow the orders given in such manner.
You were gonna say something, Matt?
DM, just are these the King's Guard that we're talking about? Talking to?
Those seem to be heavily armored soldiers. You have seen them accompanying the king and the pope before. They seem to be the best performing unit, like the very elite squad. There should not be more than several hundred of them in the army.
Got it, okay. So they're like bodyguards for the king.
The king is awaiting your presence for quite some time, truth to be told. I was told to allow you to enter the tent without questions.
Okay, let's hurry inside.
I cannot imagine what we look like.
You look like shit, Alan.
Yeah, but we're in Mordor.
Yeah.
Everyone here looks like shit.
Oh, this does look like Mordor.
Everybody's covered with that gray ash. I was going to be big for 4 hours. Not sure how much time has passed.
When was the time you drank the elixir?
I think I drank it not the last fight, but the one before that with the elemental.
That would have been about 2 hours ago.
Okay. No, she's good.
Mulvan, as you enter the tent, you can hear murmurs and loud talks of creatures inside. As you notice several familiar faces, Justica, King Ulra, Pope Popeye, and Havok, out of all people, seem to be having quite a fiery discussion with Havoc banging his fist against the table. Aside from those four, Phaeton, with both hands crossed, and with what seems to be an empty bucket of popcorn, sits on the opposite side. The first four cease immediately as they notice you. King stands up. Ah, Master Morven, how happy I am to see that you have managed to join us in one piece. And your friends, I assume, were successful as well in their endeavor. The news have reached us already.
Oh yes, it was exhausting work, but we finally managed to do it. The Gripper is dead.
After so many years of constant terror, the creature has been laid to its final rest. I don't think there is a treasure I can give you for assisting us in such a manner, but I can promise you that once the conflict is over, I will pay from the royal treasury a due recompensation. I'm speaking not only gold, trinkets and bubbles, but also titles. Of course, that will have to wait until this mess is sorted. And it is quite a mess, believe me. Agrippa himself was able to destroy 3 of our warships as soon as we arrived here. We have been trying to deter him ever since. Without his presence, now we can finally regroup and march into the enemy stronghold before their forces arrive here to meet us first.
I see.
But please, Scary, Matthias, do take the seats. I know that you must have been through quite a fight recently, so feel free to rest as you see fit. You deserve as much at least.
Thank you.
You know.
Have we seen any movement from the pentagram?
Havoc looks in your direction.
Movement is not putting it lightly enough. They were holed up in a stronghold for this entire time. We have sent plenty of scouts, and were informed that a party of 50,000 soldiers, all from Black Waste, are marching towards us as we speak. They will arrive in several weeks. The stronghold, when the enemy generals are holed in, is the only obstacle. I still wonder why and what is stopping us from actually cutting off the Hydra's head when it matters.
He says as he looks towards the king. You can hear the contempt in his words, but there seems to be something that Havoc also does not know. Something that the king was waiting to reveal for a proper moment, when everyone gathers. He only looks towards Justica. Now he stands up. First of all, I need to tell you that I am happy to see that you have made it in one piece. I know that the endeavor was not very easy, to put it lightly, but I had my faith in you, and in this day and age, this seems to be the greatest weapon. What Havoc said is true. We have scouted out the enemy forces. They are not here just yet, but we were informed of at least 50,000 armed Hellions, including mercenaries, marching here as we speak. They will be here in several weeks. With Agrippa gone, now we have a free hand to move onwards into the land. But according to our scouts, there is one single place where all the enemy generals seem to have been spotted.
It
And I
sounds,
believe...
Go ahead.
No, please go on.
this sounds like the perfect opportunity to get the jump on him, right?
This is exactly what we were been thinking. But it is not the fact that all of them have holed up in this single stronghold that we are nervous about. It's the fact of who they are, as all of the names are recognizable to us, and I believe to you too. We have seen a number of Hellion regiment entering the stronghold. Leading them was none other than Mara, the member of the Septagram who you have run into some time ago. Which surprises me quite a lot, because I do not recall having any records of her power being so significant for the Hellions to move as she deems necessary. We think there is someone pulling the strings behind her, and that someone is most likely Vertigo, which is another name I suspect you know well.
Harry nods. And, you're right about Vertigo.
How sure are we that this is not a trap? We've seen Vertigo make her magic and make really surprising illusions.
We suspect that she is responsible for the strange sounds that can be heard once per day in the past months. It is not a coincidence that the place that the soldiers are lured into is none other than the entrance hall to the old stronghold itself. But there are no guards placed there. Everyone can enter as they see fit. So if you're saying that it's a trap, I will say you are absolutely correct. We have also tried to spy within the stronghold itself, but as soon as any side entrance or trying to access it from the air is used, the person finds itself teleported 200 feet away, which typically is over a river of lava, and in case of 2 of my best spies, it did not end well. Fortunately, the third one was capable of flight. But this is the first layer of security that we were able to spot. Their second troublesome party was a group of Drow with companionship of several cloaked creatures. They were quite large in size. We do not know what they were, but the footprints that we have found were quite monstrous. Leading them was none other than your good old friend, wearing a white mask.
Oh, that's not good.
Have we seen any activity from the Dragon Tyrant?
Numerous sources and the Hellions we are able to catch have confirmed that the one leading this entire ordeal is the one they call the Dragon Tyrant, but none of our scouts have confirmed seeing him. Truth to be told, several scouts in the past months have given me a different explanation on how he looks like. One even stated that it is not a he, but a female. The race is also inconsistent. I fear that if such a creature is even present here, it is not something we can confirm. It might be another element of the trap.
Out of character, we learned that he's a shapeshifter. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So it looks like, the art character, it looks like everyone's in this camp, right?
What do you mean by everyone?
All the um, all the important people from their side of the camp is inside this stronghold.
Oh, the enemy. Yes.
Yeah.
It seems like that. And from what Justicar is saying, he is afraid that this is a trap specifically because they all swarm to this one specific place. It's like they want you to go there.
You know you can't believe your eyes anywhere around Vertigo.
But this is not the worst. Many things have happened in the past 3 months, and I am afraid that I have to break very sad news to you. I know how much effort all of you have put in imprisoning the one you call Anu. I was the one who personally delivered him to the Deathwick prison and chained him up to the wall. But in the span of 10 minutes, when my eyes had to drift away to fill the proper documentation, I was delivered the news of his demise. According to everything I found out, he managed in the time of 10 minutes to bite his own tongue, lose consciousness, and bleed to death, which is inconsistent with my reports about his limited immortality. I don't know how he did this. I don't know what the conditions are for this to be fulfilled, but I had Tesladon examine the corpse, and according to her, his soul has already left that body. There is only one explanation she was able to come with. All this time, Anu had a contingency plan related to the spell of clone.
Oh. So he's now alive somewhere.
I'm
That
not
is correct.
I'm not exactly familiar with the spell. Can you lay it on me?
A powerful magician can create a special homunculus, let's put it, a substitute for his own body. His soul is magically linked to this homunculus in the way that once the magician perishes, his soul will be transferred to it. For generations, this is how the magicians tricked the fate into obtaining younger bodies to no longer care about old age. Of course, such a spell is extremely difficult, and I did not expect someone like Anu to be able to perform it. Truth to be told, I did not expect that his expertise reaches to the field of magic. According to my reports, he was strictly the artificer type.
This is similar from my studies. This is similar to how witches retain eternal life.
It is true.
He must have had
It's-
outside help.
I have also thought that. I have inspected everyone and everything that came in contact with Anu ever since he was given to my care in order to be imprisoned. Even as we speak, his body is being examined, although I doubt we will learn anything new. But this explains why the prosthetics that he was using when fighting you were not of the usual quality, if you recall. Out of character, when you were fighting Anu back in Salagia, it was pointed several times that his prosthetics are different. They are weaker.
Oh yeah, you did.
Which means that he removed them, planning to be resurrected with the spell of clone in the place of his desire. The only mystery that remains now is how he was able to live with his head being decapitated and biting his own tongue later. It's almost like there is some sort of limitation to his immortality. Do you have any questions thus far?
Well, now I understand why he given up so easily back at the tournament.
Yes, it does.
Okay, King Oda, I just have one question. So right now we're surrounding this stronghold. Is that correct?
We were trying to. But as I said, once per day, a strange sound can cause any man here to go mad. Being lured in the direction of the stronghold, and according to my suspicion, vertigo is responsible. Which is why I have paid off using my 10-year allowance. A very special, well, special is an understatement. They are very special, special care to be honest, unit of mercenaries. To go into the stronghold and put an end to this madness. For once that happens, we will rally all our banners and march to conquer the place before the armies of the enemy fill the coast of the Black Waste. If the stronghold is not conquered until then, they will have an upper hand, and defending our position will be incredibly difficult. Regarding the group of mercenaries, I believe you know them well. They've called themselves the Wheel of Fate.
Oh, those guys.
What's the team consist of the Wheel of Fate again?
Phaeton is part of them, Gatling is one of them. So how does Phaeton look when Ulra said that this is they'll be part of the team that charges the stronghold?
The fact that Phaeton is here signifies that he is not a big fan of this plan, because he is sitting this one out. Truth to be told, he looks quite amused. With both hands folded on his chest, he looks at you, at the king, at Justica. Sometimes he nods, sometimes he shakes his head, but you can see that he is quite enjoying what he's hearing. It's almost like he feeds on this social awkwardness.
This sounds like a suicide mission.
Phaeton finally stands up. Well, you see, friend, the suicide missions are what we are best known to perform. And truth to be told, I do believe at least one of us should die sooner or later. And another one is kind of a lich at this point, but that's still debatable. Well, long story short, from our ranks, I remained here, as I am the feed of information, and Clayton was stationed to wait for Agrippa, and I believe that right about now he is too weak to breach the stronghold. So, the group that was sent there was made of Gatling, our good old friend who can see the future but is borderline useless in any other way, Avalanche, who has an immortal body but also a mind of a 6-year-old, Falcon, who is a 6-year-old, and Revan, who does not feel any empathy, so I assume he is the only person fit for this type of mission. Oh yes, speaking of Revan, I have something for you. I have no idea what it is, but he said that you will know. He says as he pulls out a small ornate jade box, sealed with magical talismans. With a blackened dagger, he quickly slashes the cover, opens up the box, and slides it on the table towards Matthias and Mulvan.
Oh, it's Manamanam.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm sorry I fall asleep.
It's okay.
That's okay. If you're tired or you don't feel like playing today, feel free to skip a week. That's not
No.
important.
Yeah, no. I'm okay. Yeah, good thing I wake up. But yeah, go ahead, continue on.
Mulvan and Matthias, as you peek into the open box, you notice something a little disgusting. It seems to be a skeleton hand with numerous needles injected into the spots where the fingers are connected, or the finger parts.
Explain? Explain yourself, please.
Well, I have no idea. I was just told to hand it to you if I ever see you. Although Gatling said something about it, I think. What was it? Oh yeah. One finger per each. And something about if you decide to use it, you will lose an ability. But you will feel like a king for a day. I have no idea what he meant by that.
Is that the gauntlet? A gauntlet?
Can I make an Arcana check?
You can make an Arcana or a Religion check.
The God Gauntlet?
Sorry, Alan. Can you give me and I apologize, guys. Can you give me just fast, quick, the moment after we get throw up from the gripper stomach, just to tell me what happened?
The group finds the camp where the king resides.
Excellent.
They notice that aside from the soldiers not being injured in any major way, some of them are imprisoned, clearly gone mad. They were told by one of the soldiers that once per day a strange chime can be heard on the coast, which causes them to go mad. So until this is resolved, the king decided not to advance. King, Pope, Justica, and Havoc are discussing the battle plans. It turns out that the army of 50,000 Hellions are coming here as they speak. And all the enemy generals, which include Mara, Vertigo, and Mr. Bastille, who turns out to be alive and well, again, can be found in a fort in the middle of the wasteland. Turns out that Anu tricked everyone. His immortality had a limited time, and as soon as he was imprisoned, he bit his tongue off. He died. And according to Tesladon's explanation, he used a spell of clone to respawn, basically cheating everyone, getting a free ride and probably learning a lot of intel that will be useful for him. That also explains why his prosthetics were of crap quality when you fought him back in Salagia.
Wait, wasn't what's his name? The person we met last week said he is invisible, like a he thinks he's a god. Did not he know his immortality have a time?
You have no idea.
Continue. I'm sorry.
And no one saw the dragon tyrant. However, the party knows that he is a shapeshifter, so that's not a big surprise. He might be anywhere. He might be at this table. You never know.
It might be sitting next to me on the right.
He may be your sword. You don't know. And King has hired the members of the Wheel of Fate, the ones that you have met on your road here, to try and put a stop to this strange plague of madness so that the party can advance. So Phaeton stayed here because he is the information link. Clayton also stayed here to fight Agrippa, as he gave you his own word that he will do it. And the remaining 4, which are Gatling, Avalanche, 6-year-old Falcon, and Revan, were sent to the fort. But
Oh,
so
where? They're already on the fort.
well, they were sent there.
6 years Falcon?
He has a mind of a child.
Where's Falcon? I don't see him.
He was sent to the fort. There is a plague of madness that once per day causes the soldiers to go mad, and the king refuses to advance until this is stopped. That's why he sends someone who no one will cry after. The Suicide Squad.
Okay, they're truly suicide. Excellent.
King Oro, may we know when these lucky people have charged the fort?
According to the one you call Gatling, they wanted us to wait for as long as possible, so Agrippa can be defeated. They embarked 1 day ago. I do not know how, but he seemed to have somehow predicted that you will be emerging from the creature's belly soon after. But this is splendid news. Once the plague of madness is disposed of, we can march towards the fort. Take it, slay all the enemy generals, and prepare for the incoming attack, giving us the upper hand. Any moment now. Any moment.
With how powerful the enemy's guardians are there, I think they will need more help. I don't think they'll be able to to solve this with just 4 people.
Phaeton looks in your direction. Well, technically, they took Falcon with them. I'm counting this as -1, so it's essentially 2 people.
Oh my goodness.
Let's have a little bit more faith in the man.
No, I don't think so. I trust him as much as I trust this blue magician. Anyway, did anyone see him lately? I feel like he's been also robed in the plague, so we tossed him into one of the cells. But for some strange reason I don't hear him screaming anymore.
You locked up Karstadt? Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Justicar, we ran into someone unexpected in there.
And, do you mean the inside of Agrippa?
We did. Neos was there. Apparently, we took him in with us.
Well, I've never seen the inside of a nightmare, but I assume that whatever you've seen might have been an illusion, so I wouldn't trust any images that were present there.
At the time, the souls inside the nightmare is already dissipating. It was the last soul left.
He said,
Okay, go.
"Oh, go ahead, Matt."
He said that he orchestrated the whole war, everything, to release the knowledge of Zerans and, well, release the miracles for everyone to use.
This sounds like rambling of a madman. If that was indeed some sort of a magical resemblance of Neos, like I said, I would not trust anything. None of those words. I hope you did not agree to any deals with whatever that was.
Out of character, he's not really trying to believe us, right?
He is completely unconvinced. Or maybe he is, and he is trying to make it appear that he isn't.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
Carrie will turn to havoc. Everyone doesn't have to die.
The best course of action would be to conquer the stronghold, slay the enemy generals, and convince the oncoming army that they have no odds of success. Perhaps major bloodshed can still be avoided. But so far we are only waiting. This is not what I expected.
So, where can we help?
Atos open her eye. She may be doze off. Sorry. Something very important. It might help us. Turn to Caden. Did you meet Karstag yet, Caden?
Caden would shake his head. There was no Karstag thus far.
We need to meet Karstag. It is very important. It is very, very important. Oh, Caden is not here. Now I noticed that. But yeah, I'll look to King Gora. Meeting Karstag at the moment is very, very important. You will understand when we meet him.
I could try and cast sending for Karstag.
He's just in one of the prison. All we need is just bring him here. If Phasm said he threw him in one of the prison.
Can he be brought to us?
Of course, if you request to speak with him, or you may simply visit one of the cages we have placed in the northern part of the camp, where we forced all the other mad people. Hopefully, the plague can be broken and the senses will return soon after. Although it is strange, he is typically one of the loudest. I did not hear him for quite a while.
That is not good. Normally for Kartak. I apologize, but my make someone haste to bring him. I'll see his cage.
Atris, before you're able to finish this sentence, you notice a black shape jump into the tent, avoiding with grace the arms of the two guards. By rolling in the dust and falling down on all fours, you spot Philemon, Karstark's familiar. The creature is panting. It has been running here. You notice it is also disturbed in some way. It's looking at your faces almost like seeking something or someone.
Uh, I immediately stand up. Excuse me, sirs and ladies. Run there to Philemon. Go to my knee.
Oh, you! Atris! Atris, we have quite an emergency. Have you or any of your friends in Karstark?
Great. No, we did not. We hoped you saw him.
Me
He's
saw
in-
him, but I thought he's looking for you.
He's in a cage.
About an hour ago, he suddenly appeared right next to the cage. He is capable wizard. He can cast teleporting spells, but typically when he does that, he enters like half of a wall or something. But suddenly he casts dimension door without force, and then he squats right next to me, pats me on the head, and says, "I just remembered something important, Philemon. I'll be right back." And then he disappears. Do you understand, Arthas? Do you understand? He called me Philemon. He never remembers anyone's name.
Oh shit. You're right.
Yeah, he might. The moment Caitlyn enter the camp, it might. It's gone from him like a
Hayden, do you still have that blue flame?
blue stone.
Caden plucks out the blue soul drag, from inside of his helmet. He examines it. You notice that the flame now is pointing slightly towards east. That is where you were told the stronghold can be found. And the fact that Philemon is still capable of speech and was not dispelled also points to Karstark being in several miles' reach.
Turn to Matthias. Matthias, can you please send a sending to Karstak?
DM sending is sending only the recipient would hear the message, right? It's not out loud.
Yes.
Okay, I'll cast sending to Karstag. Um, I'll say that Karstag, Agrippa is dead. We're out with the king, or are you at the fort? Why are you there?
Matthias, when you send a message, you hear no response. You don't know if the message has reached Karstark or if he is refusing to answer.
I don't understand. Did he look part of the whole return? But it's still with us. That's not good.
I could try and reach Gatling just to know their status and if they have seen Karstag.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I send the same message to Gatling. I add, have you seen Karstag?
Again, you receive no answer. Unfortunately, you cannot determine if the message arrived correctly or if the creature refuses to answer. Something's fishy.
Yeah, or they're not in this plane. Yeah, I still receive no response. There's something on that fort.
That's not worrying. This is very worrying. I'll just pick up Philemon, put him in my shoulder, turn. Uh,
I'm thinking about it. In time of war, it makes sense to put some sort of device that disturbs signals, like magic, so you don't leak any important information about your plan.
and just to be sure, how long we been out of a gripper stomach?
3 months.
No, no, no. Sorry. The moment we get out from the gripper to reach the camp.
1 hour.
Oh, great. I'll look. And Fathom, he's the one who said I no longer can hear him after 1 hour, right?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
They said they threw him in the cage and he was screaming and yelling, but after an hour they did not hear anything from him.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's connected outside.
Thias. Oh, yes, Atlas?
No, no, no. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Matt, you receive a sending message.
Yeah, guys, I received a message from Sillerin. Karstag appeared and appeared to Sillerin? I'll ask her, I'll ask, Matt would ask Sillerin, how did, what did Karstag do or say, and how long ago was this? Where did he go?
And where is she?
And where is she? Oh, crap. Sillerin is in Blueberry. This occurred an hour ago. He opened his chest, removed the fake bottom, and took a scroll. Then he was gone. Remember that one scroll that Karstag has?
The scroll of apocalypse?
Yeah.
Wait. Just to understand, I'll look to Caden. The stone is still pointing to Karstag. Everything when we defeated Marcus 1 hour ago. We freed the Dragonborn, and among them was a part of Karstag's soul. And when the moment we arrived hour ago, hour ago, Karstag action changed.
Yeah, and the soul was gone, right?
Sorry, say that again?
The soul was gone. Like the part that's Atlas's soul is gone.
But the stone is still active.
Yeah. So that would mean that Karstag regained his former self.
It seems that Karstak is recovering his memory, but not his powers. The stone still points towards Karstak, but as soon as Agrippa was slain, at least his memories have returned.
And the stone still holds something inside it.
Yes,
Okay, turn to everyone. We already been talking out loud, so it's obvious. I'll say to everyone, I have a good news. Some of you might believe it is bad news. Inside a gripper, we fought a nightmare called Marcus. This nightmare, it was collective of my old companion, the soul of the Dragonborn clan, and a part of it was Karstag.
the king stands up with both hands laid on the table. Are you suggesting that Karstak has regained his memories? After 30 years?
Well, he's part of the soul of memory, no longer held by a nightmare. And the moment 1 hour ago, we exit the stomach of a gripper, his noise, or loud sound that you've been hearing is stopped, right?
Uh, can you please repeat? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Sorry, like the moment we exit 1 hour ago from the gripper, Karstag was screaming and yelling inside the cage, right?
All this noise, yes.
Yeah, so that's what I meant. Sorry, I need to drink a coffee. I'm still like waking up. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Uh, yes, the timing would match, but if that's what happened, why did he not come here? Why did he not inform us? Why did he just disappear?
Uh, I fought with Karstag many years ago. One thing, he kept every plan, every action he made, and hiding every goals. You though, shouldn't you know more than that? What he was been ordering, he just retrieve all his memory, and he's inside a war. Oh, inside the same place last time he fall. What was uh and out of character, Alan? I believe Kastak was working under King Aura, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll look. Uh, King Aura, what is the contingency of this war? What is your last order if anything wrong happened? Oh, anything might happen.
Contingency? Do you refer to this war?
Last war, maybe?
Unfortunately, I was not a king during the last war. That would have been my father, Ulra the 15th. And sadly, any plan such as this will be kept by the Pillar of Knowledge, who was also different than Justica right here. Such plans often come with great importance, and whoever is in possession of one dies with that memory. I am afraid there is no way we can find that out.
Athos starts scratching her chin.
With communication blocked from inside the fort, and everyone that we need to talk to is mostly inside, I think we'll have to find our way inside too. I don't think we're in much of a shape right now, however. We just came out of Agrippa.
Phaeton looks at the group, then looks at his hand. He has no watch, but he is still doing that, like mimicking. Yeah, so perhaps now is the good time to inform everyone why am I really here.
Hmm. Free,
Oh
free
boy.
coffee,
What?
drinks.
It is no big secret that Gatling can see sometimes on a good day into the future. It's not as overpowered as you might believe. From what I understand, he sees multiple futures from which he may choose the one he wishes to follow by performing the actions that are most likely to lead towards it. It's a complicated, timey-wimey stuff. But just in case that the Suicide Squad of the 4 members, well, technically 2 members because Falcon is counted as -1, so it's 2-member squad at this point, fails to bring down this plague within 24 hours, another Suicide Squad is to be sent. And would you look at that? 24 hours have just passed, and you, Lot, emerged victorious from Agrippa's stomach and arrived here just as Gatling predicted. Which also makes me feel that Gatling's original plan has failed. You asked, what is the contingency? Well, you. You are the contingency.
I expected as much.
I'd suggest that you need to rest as soon as possible and investigate what on earth happened in that place. Fortunately, it will not be swarmed by Hellion armies as soon as we get there.
Yeah.
Out of character, how much gold do we have?
None. I don't think.
What are you talking? We have a lot of gold.
Oh, do we?
Shouldn't you? It is in your bag.
Plus we're gonna get some treasury.
Oh, did we find some? Sorry.
Also,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, Mulvan, did you roll the religion or arcana on the hand?
Yeah, I got 14.
14. You realize that this strange hand must be a part of some magical ritual. You feel like you've seen it somewhere before, but you cannot put your finger on it. Unfortunately, you cannot discern a true reason that you were given this macabre artifact.
Can you give me a reminder of what Finland explained about the hand again?
According to Phaeton, he
Yeah.
was told that the hand has 5 users, 1 per each finger, and when you use it, you will no longer be able to use your powers, but for 1 day you will feel like a king. Whatever it means.
And this was given to Moven and Matt.
Yes, because you were the closest.
Okay. Who would like
Oh.
to have it?
No, good. That is, she's good with that. But look around in the camp and look back to King Aura. Did not Did another my clan join the war, King Ora?
We have been reinforced by about 500 brave soldiers from Draconia, from the Dragonborn clans. Of course, they are far more powerful physically than my current soldiers, which is why we are not risking them falling a victim to this plague of greed. They are stationed on one of the warships, currently about 2 miles off the shores.
Excellent.
The same goes for 2,000 troops from Shalagia, and roughly 5,000 soldiers from Siluria, most of which have yet to reach us, of course.
So,
There are currently about 10,000 of my own troops in here, with several hundred of most elite soldiers, as you see, and gathering on the ships, still in the Westland Kingdoms, about 30,000 yet to be sent. Together we are talking about 40 to 50,000 with sheer numbers.
you see. And may I ask, I don't know, sorry, tiredness, maybe I missed the wording. The madness start when did the madness exactly start? The plague of madness.
As soon as we completed settling a camp, about 3 months ago. Ever since then, once per day, at least several soldiers fall a victim to the plague, and I am afraid that if I bring my main corpse here, the same will follow for all the other soldiers. If out of several hundred, let's say 10% falls a victim, think about the consequences if we were to bring an army of several dozen thousand.
And we believe, you believe that source of madness is coming from the fort.
Yes, I have determined this to be the cause, and I have communed with the spirit of cheesecake. Everything seems to follow this exact ordeal. We have tried to discern the true source, and while we are unable to do it efficiently, according to our information, the one you call vertigo is most likely the one responsible. As you recall, illusions and mind tricks are her specialty.
Yeah. I believe that's all my question. I don't know what Karstag is planning, what his own contingency in this war, oh, the former war, past war. But we need to rest. Is that anything else, guys? Asking the party.
I am so tired.
You need rest and supplies.
King Ulra stands up. In the light of the recent events and the newly acquired information, it is safe to assume that the wheel of fate has failed. In this case, as the King of Westlands, I implore you, in their stead, to stop the plague of madness and begin the advance on the stronghold, so that our armies can take control over it before the main forces of the Hellions arrive. If we fail, we will be forced to fight in a very disadvantageous position. Of course, if you succeed, you will be rewarded handsomely. in addition to the royal titles I have promised for assisting us in disposing of Agrippa. But for now, I know that your minds and bodies are too battered to continue. Rest as long as you need. After you do, then you can embark and fortunately and hopefully put an end to this senseless bloodshed.
Question. How long would it take for us to reach the stronghold?
The stronghold is placed 10 miles away from the shore. It is the first and the oldest one that was built by Hellions. It has withstood the last 3 Ashwars, and by many historians, it is supposedly the most vital defense point, which means taking control over it would be to a great benefit.
And we have 1 week to do this.
Yes, 1 week before the armies of both the Hellions and the Western Kingdoms arrive to the shore. So whoever controls the fort will have the upper hand in the combat.
Yeah, we need to clear up.
We could take 2 long rests and take up 2 days. That way we can be super prepared, and I can cast stuff like Hero Feast.
Yeah, but we don't know what would happen to the guys inside.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're still stuck inside. Yeah, we have to go there immediately.
We could ask like there are powerful people around us. Like we could stack up and ask the Pope to give us a hero feast if he can.
Yeah, Hero Feast is probably, we're going up against Vertigo. I think we need that.
Yeah.
I have a request. I'm thinking, do you have any spell scrolls or spells such as Hero Feast so we can prepare for tomorrow?
As the Pope of the Cheesecake Faith, it is within my power to cast such a spell, yes. If you so desire, I may create the best cheesecake and apple tarts that your heart can crave.
Yes.
An honor.
Immediately, I think out of character. Immediately, I think diabetes.
Oh, can you do it right now?
I think it would be best to wait.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Of course, but I must give you a condition. When I do so, you must ensure that Bellum is not around, otherwise none of you will be able to eat. That much I can guarantee.
Wait, come to think, Bellum was in the war.
Was he knocked out?
No, he wasn't. knocked
Oh,
out.
okay. I remember someone being knocked out.
That was the next.
Net.
And
Oh, yeah,
what's his name?
that's
The Barut.
A majority of the allies you've seen on the battlefield have stayed there to help the wounded or to regain the strength before they return.
Eating hero feast, it's better to be before we leave. And look, I'll ask. I know, I'm sure that you might be low in potion, but I believe it will help us greatly. If there anything to spare.
During your rest, I shall see to my personal collection of medicines. I am certain that I have some more powerful specifics there as well that should assist you.
Do I pronounce this name again?
Pardon?
Phaeton.
Phaeton. I've been
Phaeton.
calling Phaeton.
Phaeton, do you have any spell scrolls?
Well, not in here, sadly. I left my stash in Blueberry.
Do you know a magic trick that can poof your staff into your hand?
No? Listen, I know miracles are a thing, but I am not a miracle maker.
Fair.
Fair enough.
So we'll probably
I'll
need
try to
stock up.
help as I can, but I'll do so in my own time as I see fit.
I suppose it's time
So-
to get some rest.
So we'll probably need to stock up on potions.
Especially fire. We're going up against Mara. That's gonna be toasty.